Shall I do it?
Hey.
There it is. You know you're here now, folks. I've done the thing.
She's done the thing. That means hello, everybody, and May the 4th be with you. We are celebrating Star Wars today. Yeah. And because we're celebrating Star Wars, we're going to talk about all things Star Wars related. Am I right?
Oh, we're doing all things Star Wars related. Oh, this episode just got so much better for me because I thought we were just talking board games.
Well, board games is all things. Nothing else matters.
Okay. I'm like, oh, we're going to go off on a tangent here, aren't we? We're going to talk about movies and TV.
Listen, I don't oppose to that. I am. We can have a 4-hour conversation. I'm down for it.
Yeah, for sure.
It is funny because like people just know that I like Star. People that I don't even like, they're not really close to me. They just know that I like Star Wars. Like I get sent pictures of like funny stickers on cars and stuff. It's like, oh, I thought of you when I saw this.
Oh, that's nice.
That's how Star Wars, how much of Star Wars rules my life.
Yeah.
That people just know. It's a Star Wars girl, you know.
That's cool. Worse things to be known as, Annabelle, than the Star Wars girl.
For sure. I love it. I love it. I get the coolest gifts also because everybody knows. And I'm so easy to get gifts because everybody knows. Just give me something Star Wars related and I'll be happy. It doesn't matter if it costs you 50 cents or if it costs you $300. I will be happy.
Yeah.
So don't spend $300. Just get the
Well, I'm the same, needless to say. As you know, we do have that in common. I do love Star Wars.
Yeah. Star Wars is awesome.
Maybe not as much as you, though, Annabelle. I feel I'm letting the side down behind me here compared to you behind you.
Yeah, my house is a Star Wars museum. I've told you that before. There is a video to prove it.
I've seen the video. It is true. It is a Star Wars museum.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy to live where I live. But before we talk about Star Wars, we have to do our game because last time I showed you guys this little thing and you were supposed to guess what game it was from. And it is from this war of mine, which has nothing to do, you would think, with guitars. But if you have this item in the game, it actually raises your morale, which is important in the game, right? Because you're going through a war, so you want to have high morale. So this is a very important item, guys. And so if you guessed it, well, good job. Angela, give him a thumbs up.
Does it work for you when you do it?
No.
Oh,
yeah, if you do both, it's a party. So there you go. You guys got a whole party. There it is. And stay tuned because at the end of this episode, we're going to have, another game. But we're going to start talking about Star Wars. Are you ready? I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
The first thing I have to mention is May the 4th, which is an important day for the Star Wars community, is also a very important day for
me, because I get older. Woo! Actually, I get older every day, don't I? That's the day I celebrate it.
You couldn't have a cooler birthday, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's pretty good having my birthday on Star Wars Day. I have to say.
For sure. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Let's start talking board games. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so for sure, I would have to mention Star Wars: The Deck Building Game because it is probably my favorite Star Wars game. It's fast-paced. It's short, easy setup, easy cleanup. It's got characters from the Star Wars, from the original movies. You got your Chewies and your Solos and your Luke Skywalkers and your Darth Vaders and all those, your Leias, all the cool characters, my favorite characters. And it does feel like it's a deck builder. It's not a deck builder. It's a card management. You're playing the Empire versus the Rebels, and it does feel exactly like that. Like you're battling a huge empire when you're the Rebels, and if you're the Empire, you're crushing down the rebellion. So, so I really love that one. So that's the first one I will mention, and I've mentioned it here before. I'm sure you've heard of it, but if you haven't played it, go play it. And
I need to try it. I need to try that one.
It's yeah. All right, what'd you get?
what have I got? Let me just check my list because I put them in order, kind of. So the first one that I've got on my list is Star Wars Rebellion, which I don't know. Do you own that?
Mm-hmm.
You do. I really liked it, but I knew I wasn't going to play it again, so I actually sold it. But that is a good Star Wars board game. It's got a lot of miniatures and things in it, a lot of tiny pieces, but yeah, really good the way that it all comes together out of the box.
Yeah,
Takes a while to set up that one as well. But
yeah, that one also you can play solo. There's a solo version on YouTube. I found a solo version of it.
yeah, it's not one I would play by myself, but it was good in 2-player. I just knew Tracy wasn't going to play it.
Yeah, it's long. It's very, very long. But the story behind it is so good because if you're playing the rebels, you have your hidden base that the Empire is trying to find. So the whole game, the Empire is trying to figure out where your base is, and they get information because, of course, the Empire has spies everywhere, right? So every turn they get information, and they start like, okay, it's not that one, it's not that one, it's not that one, and then they have this huge Death Star that moves around the board and destroys full planets, and if they catch you, it's
good. Definitely a good one. Like if you're a Star Wars fan and you haven't tried it, at least try that one, I would say.
Yeah, if you like long games, intense games, because that's intense. But the premises are really cool. How you have your characters and they all go on missions and stuff, and it's definitely a good one.
And it looks nice as well. You've just reminded me, like the characters, like the artwork, and it's really cool as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on standees. They're not miniatures. The characters are.
Yeah.
But all the ships that you have in the space, because you in the whole universe, well, all the whatever planets are there, you have all the spaceships, and they're tiny, but they're really cool. And the Death Star, the completed Death Star, and the not completed Death Star. And
that's right. Yeah. It's a good one.
It's a good one, and it wasn't on my list. I forgot about it. So thank you for bringing it up.
One.
Yeah, no, I do like that one. I just forgot about it. But the one that I did add was a new one that just came out, which is Star Wars Unlimited, which is another card game, more like a collectible card game, kind of like Magic the Gathering, where they have all of the movies. And that's one thing that I really like about it, is that you can have characters from anything in the Star Wars universe, Clone Wars, the old movies, the new movies, anything you want. You have a deck built around that character. And in the gameplay, you have space battles and ground battles. And what you're trying to do is trying to defeat your opponent's base. It is a 2-player game, kind of like Magic the Gathering. But it's new, and it's it's cool. And it's actually a good game. I like it. Star Wars Unlimited.
Yeah, you just reminded me of one that I forgot to put on my list. But that's brought it to mind, so I'll mention it later, because I obviously didn't think of it for a reason, but I have got it. My next one's Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which I think is it here somewhere? It's behind me. I won't say I've played it a lot, but it's pandemic, and as you know, if something's got pandemic attached to it, then I'm going to buy it. It's the least pandemic game that I think I've got. Probably that one and the 40K one are probably the least of the pandemic lots, but it had Star Wars and it had pandemic, so that's why I got it.
You're right. It is the least of the pandemic games, and I love how you said that. I'm going to steal that quote. It's the least of the pandemic games.
Yeah.
But you still get the pandemic feel with all the connected planets, and then if you pull a card and it's a planet and it already has enough droids there, then stuff happens like in pandemic, but it's not as bad as pandemic, where you get an outbreak and the whole board fills up.
I love that you remember all of the mechanics of things, and you can explain them, and I'm just talking about how the game made me feel, or did I like it, did I not like it?
Wait, that's because you're the emotional one, and I'm the practical, like the that's just the way,
That's a
like
good
my
matchup. It's a good
yeah.
matchup.
Yeah, yeah. I'm more like logistics and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
and
and
you're
everyone who watches us knows I suck at rules. Like rules, I learn them, I play the game, and then they're gone. Like unless I've played a game a lot, I'm not going to remember even Pandemic. Pandemic's my most played game, and even when I start Pandemic now, and I've played that game a lot, like a lot, and I would still need to like which version are we playing? I still need to like go over it again. Rules just do not stick in my brain at all for
yeah.
anything. Yeah, unless it's stupidly basic like Cat Lady, then I'll retain it. But if as soon as it gets a little complicated, I'm done.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't know how they stick in my brain, but even like sometimes, how you once you play all these games, it's impossible to remember every rule. And a lot of times, like one of the things that I will always not be sure about is how many cards do I start with, or how many resources do I start with. But then I always throw a number, and then I look and I got it. Yeah,
Uh,
and I'm like, how? So,
yeah, and there's a lot of crossover, right? When you've played a lot of board games, they use the same mechanics or
mhm.
similar mechanics, so you do start to have that sort of retention. But yeah, no.
Definitely. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's little details that it's hard to.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I make a lot of mistakes. I mean, even my viewers will tell me that I make mistakes. I mean, I'm human, right? And some of these
Yeah,
games, there's a lot to keep track of.
for
And
sure.
so, but yeah, I think to me the important thing is have fun. If you mess up the rules,
Yes.
you mess up the rules. So what?
You
It's
know
not.
what, Annabelle? Every board gamer has messed up the rules. So anyone jumping into comments and going, rah, 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 they've done it too. We all do it. I've played entire games and we've had the rules wrong. We still had an absolute blast.
That's what matters. Just have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course. I mean, we try, right? Because we're
Yeah, of
trying to teach
course.
others. So I feel like a responsibility to try and get them right. But I'm not going to get them right all the time. Unfortunately,
No.
I might forget, or there's combos that I didn't see it, but a viewer might have seen it, and yeah. So, but the important thing is get a feel of the game, and then you go and you play it, and you make your own mistakes, and you'll be fine. You'll have
Yeah,
fun. Yeah.
for sure.
All right. So yeah, but I would say you are not horrible with rules. And one of the things for me is that you start talking about a game, and then it's like you refresh my brain. It's like, oh yeah, again this game, that game. So please don't stop, because yes, it does help. All right, my next one is one that I actually do enjoy because of the story of it, and it's Star Wars Outer Rim. I don't know if you've played that one before.
Mm-mm.
All
No,
right.
I know it, but I haven't played it.
Yeah. So in Star Wars Outer Rim, you're a smuggler, and I do enjoy this smugglers. Let me tell you, they don't stop working. It's like one job after another. I guess because I love Firefly so much. So to me, this game is kind to me it's like a mix of, I know it's not Firefly themed, but I can just picture the Firefly crew doing what Outer Rim is trying to do, which is smuggling things, contraband, and getting paid for those kind of jobs, and then having adventures, and having to talk to this person to get through the door, to get to the other, and da, 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 and then do it again until you
Yeah.
become the most famous smuggler of them all. But it's set in the Star Wars universe, which gives you the Star Wars, lore, which to me is great because I love it. Um, and you feel also, you start with like a like junk ship, and as the game progresses and you get better and you get more money, you can make it better, and you can see it grow, you can see the development, and to me that's kind of like an RPG element to it, where you're leveling up your stuff. So I love that as well. So, and you can play solo, so it's a fun one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I haven't played it, but obviously I know about it because Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
All
one.
right. My next one. I've had a little bit of a cheat here, Annabelle. I was thinking about some of my most precious gaming Star Wars memories, and I'm going to throw in vintage traveler role-playing game in here.
Oh.
And you might not know, but in the book, it doesn't state that this is who they are, but Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker are in those books as starting characters. And
Oh.
Luke Skywalker, from memory, I haven't played it for years. I've still got all my books, but I haven't played it for years. Like Luke Skywalker, it says farm boy. But you can tell from the skills, from the stats and the skills, that it's Luke Skywalker. And the same for Darth Vader. I can't remember what he's called, but they're both in there. And I'll tell you something, back in the early 80s, we had a freaking hoot with those books and with those characters, and the stories that I could tell of my gaming group and the things that we did with those characters mixed in with the vintage traveler were just some of the best gaming memories, like really fun.
So is this like an RPG, like a D&D kind of game?
Yeah, it's an RPG. So it is just books, pencil and paper.
Okay.
But just the fact that those characters are in there, and I know that some people probably don't realize that that's who they are, but that's who they're meant to be. It's an obvious nod to those characters.
That's
What
cool.
a great game. Like, I liked it, Annabelle, because of all the role-playing games at the time, Space Opera, RuneQuest, all those oldies. This one was super basic. Like,
Okay.
rolling the character was basic. The stats were basic. The skills were basic. Yeah, really, really good RPG.
You know, it's funny how you mentioned that, because I think we create this, we keep evolving and making things so complicated, and sometimes you just want to go back to basics, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you know, like
And
just
basic can be fun. You don't need a 100-page rule book for something to be fun. It can be 4 pages.
right.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%. And you know, there's times and there's times. You know, sometimes you want something immersive and to have all that, but a lot of times it's like, you know what, this is fun without all the added sauce. Yeah. Speaking of added sauce, the next one is a heavy one, but I love it, and it's Star Wars Imperial Assault, which is
this one. I expected one,
of
yeah.
course. This is Descent's little brother. That's what I call it. So if you like Descent, Journeys in the Dark is what the original one was called, or I don't know if they're all called that, but whatever. Descent, the Final Fantasy game, then Imperial Assault is the same thing, but just slap a Star Wars theme on it. And I've been running a campaign on the channel. I think I finished the campaign. I did skip a mission because I messed up. I forgot the rules and I pressed the wrong button, and it told me you failed. And I'm like, wait, I did just press the wrong button. But it was a very fun campaign. It was in Hoth, which is the icy planet, in case you know you're not a Star Wars fan. And yeah, the miniatures are awesome. I painted them all, and I had a blast painting them. And now I love playing it, because when you have it on the table, it just looks great, and everybody looks like what they're supposed to look like, you know. And you have Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and everybody, so it's really awesome. So yeah, I recommend that one. And if you want to check it out, go to the channel and check it out. It's there already for you to see.
Yeah.
Most of these games are on our channels, I think, right? Like,
yeah, for sure, in some form anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
You've just reminded me of what a terrible friend I am, Annabelle, by
Why
bringing
is
that game up, and I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. I bought you 2 Imperial Assault packs.
Okay.
I think it was before we met, maybe just after we met. And my thing was, I'm going to paint them for Annabelle and I'm going to send them to her.
Okay.
It just reminded me, but handily enough, Annabelle, my paints are out at the moment. So I might have to get them after we finish recording and bring them out to remind myself to paint them and send them to you.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Proudly out them, and I will let the viewers know these are Angela's painted minis when I play them.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. What a terrible friend. All right. My next one's got Dark Side in it, which is a terrible friend. Star Wars Dark Side Rising, which you also enjoy, don't you? I enjoy it. It's pretty basic when you get down to it, and it has that thing that I think you mentioned it for another one, where you feel like you're in the movie. You feel like you are fighting all these forces as they're refreshing, and you're trying to get to the end point of like winning. It's basic but good. That one I really like. I like the Thanos one as well,
Right.
Thanos
Yeah.
Rising, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, and there's a Batman one as well with the joke, the Batman who laughs last. I don't know. That
Okay, I
one
didn't
got,
know that.
yeah, it has a Joker big, how all of them have like a big figure. That one's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Joker in chains laughing, and
yeah. Oh,
that one
okay.
got ruined. And that, unfortunately, that one got ruined for me in the flood when I had a a dog made flood in the house. So I only played it once. I didn't like it as much as I like Dark Side Rising, and I have not played Thanos Rising. I don't know what the difference is between Thanos Rising. Maybe one day I should check it out.
Yeah, it helps if you like the universe, though, right? I'm not a big Batman fan either,
Oh,
but
you're not?
obviously I like
I just felt
Marvel.
like it was more complicated. It was harder, a lot harder. Like it was very punishing. And I don't mind when a game is hard, but I want to win. And I think the
Yeah,
one time I played it, we played it with like 6 players, and we got beat by the game so bad that they were all new players. Like all of them were non gamers, and I introduced them to the game. And after we played that one, nobody wanted to play another game.
oh, see, that's a bad game, though, isn't it? I mean, you've got to feel a little bit like you can win. There's nothing worse than being trounced by the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's just bad game design, though.
When it turn off game people that could potentially become gamers, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
of
no.
course.
And then, yeah, but the Star Wars one, the Dark Side Rising, is very simple, like you said. It's mostly
Yeah,
just luck. It's dice rolling. There's a little bit of mitigation of the rolls depending on
yep,
what characters you got on your team. Although I do think that if you like are really unlucky at the beginning of the game, you're going to have a hard time. Like if you don't get
yeah,
a team going, it's tough. I don't know if the Thanos one is the same, but I know the Star Wars one. If you don't really, if you're very unlucky at first, Darth Vader is going to annihilate you because that's what he does, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a fun one.
It's one of those games, though, where well, I suppose all games are the same, aren't they? If you start from behind something and then you win at the end, you feel more joyous, that you've that you've managed to do it. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
that one will always be in my collection just because it's so
Mhm.
easy to set up and play. And
So yeah, and the miniature, the big miniature is so good. I remember last time when I played it, and we played it recently here, and we were losing. I think Darth Vader had killed 5 of our guys. He has to kill 10 to win, and we had to kill 7 of his guys to win, and we had 2. So it was 2-5, and we still managed to flip it and win. So
yeah, and I
yeah,
bet it felt bloody great.
I thought we didn't have it. I thought, okay, we're not gonna make this. Let's play something else. But no, we stuck it. We stuck through it because it's a fun game. It's light. It goes fast. And then you're moving Darth Vader around, and there's this stupid guy. He's facing me now. Everybody
Yeah,
gets hurt.
yeah,
Definitely fun. Let's see. So that was next on my list. I'm gonna skip it, and I'm gonna skip the next one on my list, which was the Clone Wars. I do want to mention, although I haven't played it, Star Wars. What's it, Legion?
Legion.
Yeah, I think it's
Is
Legion.
that a miniatures game?
And
Yeah.
that's why I haven't played it, but I know it's very popular. And the miniatures, I saw the miniatures, and they look amazing. Like if I
Yeah.
was more into those type of games.
Is that the one with all the big ships and things that you can buy? Like some of them are massive, like this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
I
buy that
think
one.
so. Yeah, like I said, I haven't played it. I just looked, but I know there's one that has ships, and then there's another miniature game that has actually characters, stormtroopers and stuff. And that one, and I don't know if they're the same because again, I don't play it, but
Yeah.
very very cool.
Yeah, I've
Um,
seen the one with the ships. Like I saw someone's collection. I think it was on Pinterest, and it took up the entire room. There were that many like big ships and things. Crazy.
yeah, you can really like. That's another reason why, because that's just you can really get like crazy with that stuff and storage and money and time and yeah.
Yeah. The more I've got into the board game hobby, the less interested I've become in those things. Like I
Mhm.
used to be, if something was like a special Kickstarter and it had like extra miniatures and coins and all that, I'd be like, yes. But the older I've got and the more into the hobby I've got, the less I like that, the more I like back to basics.
Yeah.
You know, it can be
I mean,
cardboard and joyous.
you're mentioning that, and I have right here. Let me see if I can grab it. I just got a Kickstarter that I waited for like forever, and it had the box, and then it had all this.
What is that?
Just packs of stuff, and that's not even it. There's more over there. I grabbed the few that I can, and I'm like, where am I gonna put all this? If there better be room in that box for all this. I haven't opened it yet. I'm
Yeah.
waiting.
Oh, there's nothing worse than that, is there, when they bring out a blooming special edition thing and it doesn't fit in the box and you end up with that gap.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah. Happens all
Why?
the time. Happens all the time. I know. I love when games think about the insert and how to store your
Yes.
game. You have to store it. You have to put it somewhere, and you don't want it to get ruined. They're like
Yeah.
your babies.
Yeah, true.
I think you have one more.
Speaking of babies, there's your babies.
Babies. I think there was one more game you wanted to mention, right?
I was going to mention Queen's Gambit, which
Perfect.
I've never played. I've never owned it, but
Mhm.
I know that it is like the pinnacle of Star Wars board gaming for some people. And, they want it, but it's so expensive because it's out of print. And then there was rumors they're going to reprint it, but the reprint never appeared. I don't know whether that rumor is still a thing, whether they are going to do that, but yeah, that seems to be a big one if you like Star Wars and board games.
Yeah, I just looked online and I found it for like $550. It's funny that it has such a great reputation because it's based on the what is it, 2000 movies, so episodes 1, 2, and 3, and nobody likes those movies. Like most Star Wars fans don't like those movies, but then this is straight. It's like you're playing the movies.
Yeah.
Really is.
That's why it's popular then.
Yeah, but nobody likes those movies. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I have to say, if given the choice, yeah, I would not buy something based on those movies.
You see?
I didn't like them
Me neither.
as much as obviously the proper movies.
Right. But I have to say, because I did get my hands on the Queen's Gambit at a con. I was lucky enough. I was like a hawk, like because I needed somebody to play with and somebody to put it together and teach me how to play because I wasn't going to read the rules. And I finally found somebody, and I like, I'll play with you. It's huge. Like we're
Yeah,
talking
I noticed that. Yeah, it is.
3-story building, and you have to go up the Queen Amidala's castle or wherever she was queen, whatever building that was, and defend her. And then you have on another side, you're fighting the droids. The clunky droids are fighting the big defender droids that roll. I don't remember their names. And then on the other side, you have 3 sides that you're controlling all at the same time. You're fighting. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are fighting Darth Maul, and there's one more side actually, because there's in that same board where you're fighting Darth Maul, you have Anakin on the little Anakin on a spaceship that he stole in the movie, fighting some stormtroopers or something. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. And I believe that you grab a card and it'll tell you like what parts of the movie are playing during a turn. So maybe you won't play all 3, you'll play maybe 2 parts. And then on another turn, you'll play some others. But it's huge. I can see the appeal because even though I didn't like the movies,
Yeah.
It felt so massive, but that's another reason why I did have my eye on buying it for a while, but no.
Yeah, it's costly, isn't it?
It's costly. It takes a while to set it up, a while to take it down, a while to play it. No, we're not doing it. But it is very popular and it's out there, and if you can play it, I recommend you play it at least once so you can say you have done it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that was the last one on my list. Have you got any others?
No, that was it for me as well. Tell me which one is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Star Wars movie. Oh, don't do this to me. I'm going to say Empire because that's just pure gold. But I really, really like Rogue One.
Okay.
Like, I really, really liked that movie.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Rogue One, it shows you both sides of the coin of the rebels, and it's a very emotional movie. Even though you know the end of it, you still enjoy the journey. But yeah,
Yeah.
for me, Empire Strikes Back is also my favorite. Empire Strikes Back seems to be the winner amongst us.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite movie? We want to know. And it's funny because I ask this a lot when I meet somebody and they find out that I'm a Star Wars fan. I always ask them, and I think it depends on people's age.
Yeah, you're probably right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the younger, like the Ray movies, but then the not so young, but not as old as me. They like the
Like
one, two, and threes.
clone ones. Yeah. I like the Ray movies.
Me too.
Like, I know a lot of people hate those movies, but I like the Ray movies, and the reason I like the Ray movies is the effect that had on little girls
Mhm.
is it's just priceless to me.
Yeah,
It's, if you think about the old movies, Star Wars, and female characters, you've got basically one or two that spring to mind, and that's it.
yep,
All men. And seeing little girls dressed as Ray, my granddaughter included, and seeing a strong, powerful, magical character like that, it's a good thing.
yeah.
I think that's why it got a lot of kickback. A lot of man babies on Twitter crying about it. Oh, Ray, women take up 50% of the earth.
I
So,
think I think Ray is doing what Leia was doing, but for us, so I always looked up to Leia because she was a princess, but she could stand her own.
oh, yeah, strong woman. Yeah, for sure.
So tell us about your favorite movie. Tell us about what is and it doesn't have to be a movie, it could also be one of the shows.
Oh,
There's a
there's
lot of
so many good shows, right? So many good episodes of shows as well.
yeah, and there's also anime or cartoons.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what to call them, but animated series, I guess that's what they're
yeah.
called. Yeah, and I just saw there's one more coming actually soon to
Oh,
Disney.
really? Like a kids one or a more adult one?
It's something about the dark side. I don't remember what it's called, but I just saw I was at someone's house and they were talking to me, and then I see Star Wars on the TV, and I'm like trying to listen, but not really because I was really
Yeah,
paying attention to. I just remember something about two path to the dark side. So something
oh,
about bad guys,
there's
but
so many though. How can you possibly keep up? I'm trying to make my way through Rebels, and then there's Bad Batch, right? Then there's the one with the little baby Jedis in it as well. If you're into that, um, yeah, there's a lot. I haven't even finished Ahsoka yet.
yeah, well, it's good that there's a lot. That means that the next generation is also getting some of what
Yeah,
we only got movies, and now it's the whole world, and that's great. I think it's
yeah.
awesome. Some are better than others, of course, but expanding on the lore, and so and I love that they're all in a way like they're checking to make sure that
Oh, they're interconnected. Yeah, yeah,
so
that
that
is really good. I like
mhm,
that with Marvel as well. They try and weave them in.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so let's play a game, shall we?
Ooh.
We're going to play Guess the Game. So I'm going to tell you a little bit, a little something about a game, and you have to figure out what game I'm talking about. So in this game, let me see, you're going to build a town full of critters, and then you're going to let other players come and visit. What game is that? It's a game where you're going to build a town full of critters, and then you're going to let other players come and visit. If you know what game I'm talking about, just write it down in the comments below. We'll let you know next time when we get together. Angela's brain is going, it's going.
Because I own a lot of games with critters in them, and I'm thinking, what ones do you build towns in and then get people to visit?
Yeah.
Would I know it? Do you think I would like? Do you think I know it?
Yeah, I think you know it. But I won't tell you until next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not Star Wars related. I will give you that hint.
Oh, okay.
But this is Star Wars month, so I hope you guys get to celebrate. And if you don't have a chance to visit the nearest cantina, then at least watch a Star Wars
movies or watch one of the shows, or do something to celebrate.
That's right. At least wield a lightsaber proudly somewhere.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. May you guys play more games.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.